So hi all, welcome to this video lecture. In this video lecture, we are going to see how to use bookmarks and parameters in Power BI Desktop. So both bookmarks and field parameters, they are used to switch between the visualizations. Okay. So let us go ahead and let us look at them one by one. So for this particular demo, right, we are going to go ahead and we are going to create two visualizations. So I'm going to create one line chart. Okay, and in this line chart I'm going to just take a simple visualization. In the x-axis I will go ahead and I will place the dates, right? I will remove the quarter and the day from here. I will only keep the year and month, and I will just take this weekly sales over here and place it in the y-axis. So it's simply weekly sales over year. Okay, so this is my one visualization, correct? I will go ahead, I will take one more line chart. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to superimpose it on top of this particular visualization. So below there is the sum of weekly sales, and now this visualization will contain again dates, and within the dates I'm going to remove the quarter and the day, and here I'm going to take the fuel price. So again it's very simple, right? The sum of fuel price by year. So below that it's weekly sales by year, and above that there is fuel price by year, correct? Now I want to go ahead and create a button, right? A button visualization. Whenever I click on that button, right, the fuel price will be visible while the weekly sales will be hidden, and I will create another similar button in which the fuel price will be it will be hidden while the weekly sales will be visible, right? So whenever I go ahead and click one of the buttons, only one of the visualization will be shown and the other one will be hidden. So in a sense it will be switching between those two visualization, right? So we are going to go ahead and achieve this functionality with the help of bookmarks, right? So we are going to go to this view tab, and from this view tab we have this bookmarks and selections over here. So we are going to go ahead and select both of them. Okay, and the way to use bookmark is that first we need to go ahead and make a selection, right? So what I want to do is I want to create a bookmark first where the weekly sales is visible for me and the fuel price is not visible for me, right? So I will make this as hidden. So if you see, if I when I made this hidden, right, this particular visualization is now visible, right? And with this selection I'm going to go ahead and add one bookmark, and the name that I'm going to give to this bookmark will be weekly sales bookmark, let's say. Okay, and then what I'm going to do, I'm going to remove this data checkmark. Okay, now what I'm going to do, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to make one more selection. I'm going to do the opposite this time. I'm going to make this hidden, weekly sales hidden, and the sum of fuel price visualization, this one is visible. And with this selection I'm going to go ahead and create one more bookmark, and I will say fuel price bookmark. And similarly what I'm going to do, I'm going to go ahead and remove this data, right? So now if you just see, if I go ahead and click this particular bookmark, right, switch between these bookmarks, you see how the visualization it gets switched, right? The visualizations, they're getting switched. Now what I want to do is, now that I have created my bookmarks, right, I will go to the insert section and I will go to this buttons and I will create a blank button from here. And from this blank button, right, I will go ahead, I will turn on this action pane, and from here I will select the type, and from this type I'm going to go to this bookmark section, and here I will be selecting what bookmark I want to go ahead and select, right? So if I go ahead and select the weekly sales bookmark, so it will go ahead and it will display me the weekly sales visualization, correct? So I will go to the style, I will turn on this text, and here I will say weekly sales, right? And let me increase this by 15, and let me also go ahead and change the shape. Let me make this round 50. Okay, so this is one button which is present, right? I can go to the style section, can go down, I can turn on the shadow effect, I can turn on the glow effect as well. So you see this is the way how it is glowing, I can increase the size a little. Okay, so this is one button for me. I will just copy this and paste it here, and side by side I will create one more button. And what I'm going to do for this button, I'm going to go ahead, go to the style section, right, and I'm going to change this to fill price. Sorry, my bad. Okay, and in the actions I'm going to go ahead and select the fuel price bookmark. Now that I've done this, now you see the magic. Once I click on this weekly sales, right, you see the weekly sales is now visible. And now when I click on the fuel price, see the fuel price is visible. So in this way, what you can do is you can avoid creating multiple visualizations, where you will go ahead and create multiple visualizations and where visualization takes a lot of space, right? You can save spaces by overlapping these visualizations on top of each other, and you can create bookmark buttons like this to switch between these visualization. Okay, so this is the use of the bookmark, right? It helps to go ahead and switch between the visualization, and this is the way how you can create a bookmark. Okay, now you can achieve this kind of functionality, similar functionality, with the help of something which we call as field parameters. Okay, so let us go ahead and let us see what are these field parameters, right? So I will go ahead, I will delete everything from here. I will also go to the view section, bookmarks, select on the selection, unselect this, and let me delete this one as well. Okay, now let me go to the home, and now what I'm going to do, I'm going to create one more visualization. Okay, just a blank visualization, and in this visualization I'm just going to add the dates. I will remove the quarter and the date, right? Now you can go ahead and you can achieve something like this without creating many buttons, right? Now obviously buttons are also going to go ahead and take some spaces, right? So there is one more method which is very space efficient, okay, and it is it is something that has a much better control as well, right? So what we can go ahead and do, we can go to the modeling tab, and here we have something which we call as the new parameter, right? I will go to this new parameter section, and here I will click on the field, right? And let me go ahead and let me name this parameter as let's say data analysis. Let us say data analysis. Okay, and over here for Walmart sales, right, I am going to go ahead and place the weekly sales, and I'm going to go ahead and bring out the fuel price. So you need to bring out the parameters over here, right, the field parameters over here, over which you are going to go ahead and see the particular visualization, right? So for instance, I have already fixed my date over here in the x-axis, that is year and month. So the only thing that is variable for me right now is the y-axis. So for that particular variable section, right, you are going to go ahead and create this order, right, this add and reorder fields. You are going to go ahead and create this, okay, parameters. So what I will do, I will go ahead and hit on create, and once I hit on create, right, you will see that there is a separate a model, a semantic model that comes over here, right, named data analysis. So this is nothing but this is a parameter section, correct? And you see automatically a list has a slicer has also been added, right? So obviously this is much space efficient compared to buttons. Buttons will take a lot of space. Here they are only going here you are only going ahead and you are creating a checkbox over here in the form of slices, right? So here is my visualization, and here is my the checkbox, right? Here is the parameter. So if I go ahead and if I select on weekly sales is supposed to be displayed. If I click on fuel price is supposed to be displayed. But as you can see, if I'm selecting on this, right, it's not getting displayed, right? It's not getting displayed. And the reason why it's not getting displayed, because here whenever you use field parameters, right, Power BI is not able to understand whether which kind of aggregation you want to perform with these two parameters, right? Here even though summation symbol is given, right, even then the Power BI is not able to understand whether what level of aggregation you are going to go ahead and apply, because it accepts it is expecting a scalar value, right? So in that particular case, there are two ways you can do it, right? One is you can again switch it back to bookmarks, obviously, which defeats the purpose because we are using field parameters. And the number second is that you can go ahead and transform this particular column into a measure, right? So it can only work with measures in this case, right? So if I go ahead and if I create a new measure in this case, right, and with this measure I will just simply say measure weekly sales, and here I am going to say sum of the weekly sales, right? And I'm going to create this, right? And I'm going to again create another measure, and in this measure I'm going to name this measure as measure fuel price, and I'm going to say sum of fuel price, correct? So I have created these two measures. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to go to this particular parameter section, right? This field parameter, let me expand this, okay? And instead of this name of this, right, what I'm going to do, I'm going to remove this and I'm going to provide this particular weekly sales over here, and this is going to have one more sorry, my bad, and this is going to be fuel price. Right. What has happened? Okay, I missed this and I missed this one also. Okay, now if I go ahead and if I hit on this, right, now what is going to happen, if I go ahead, let me cross this, if I select on this and if I add this one data analysis over here, right, you will see that this is visible. See, this is weekly sales by here. And now if I go ahead and if I select on fuel price, see, fuel price will be visible. Understood? So this is the way how you can go ahead and you can switch between the visualization. So you see how both of them serve the purpose. So both of them have pros and cons, right? And here you end up creating extra measures, okay, which in case of bookmarks you were not creating those. But obviously bookmarks are pretty efficient, but they end up taking a little bit of space, right? Here you can just see that it's highly space efficient, correct? Here in just one single list, in a single slicer, right, you can go ahead and you can have multiple visualizations. Now imagine if you go ahead and use bookmark buttons, right, it will end up creating a lot of space, right? So in those particular scenario, you can go ahead and you can use field parameters in that case, correct? But it obviously it depends upon what kind of visualization you want, right? If you want really very if space efficiency is not your concern, in those particular case you can definitely go ahead and add bookmarks in those particular cases, right? So that's it, guys. Thanks for this video lecture. I hope I have been able to give you some clarity on this particular topic. If I did, then please don't forget to like, share and subscribe my channel, and please don't forget to press the bell icon for notification. Thank you.